Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Wednesday, the 7th of January, 2025. Starting off the synoptic midnight last night, we can see here the occlusion and cold front that pushed through much of the UK there, bringing some very unsettled weather, particularly into the early hours of this morning, quite heavy rain, and thus fairly wet airfield, but thankfully quite cold temperatures today, so that's going to maintain a bit of firmness on the surface of the grass, hopefully. We can see the low pressure still there, just sort of from the North Sea there, sort of in Newcastle, slightly further south, but no significant features over the UK itself. So expecting a relatively clear day with a west-northwesterly flow across the airfield there, or across the UK, I should say. And into the next couple of days, overnight, this occlusion working its way in as well. And into tomorrow, some unpleasant weather with this warm front approaching, and likewise into Friday with some possible nice weather on Saturday, a little bit more high pressure with slack isobars, but then the wind and rain returning for Sunday. So today and Saturday looking like the better days of the week. Sapik, you can see clear over our part of the UK there, with a little bit of clouds to the north. We're expecting it to remain more or less the same throughout today, and no rain on the radar that's of a concern. And if we have a quick look at the meteorologist prediction, we'll just refresh that there. There's nothing on there that is of concern to us. It's not quite loading in the picture, but we can see if we run it through, there's very little rain hitting mainland UK, a little bit to the west, and that's later on this evening. Odium TAF, they are showing, just refresh that there quickly. They're showing 270 degrees, 12 knots with 10 kilometers visibility, few clouds at 1,800 feet, and a prob 30 of 280 degrees, 15 gusting 25 later on, between 11 and 3. That's scattered at 1,800 as well. So possibly a few gusts coming in later on, but nothing of huge concern. Farnborough, much the same, although a little bit more southwest to the wind, 250 degrees, 9 knots, 10k viz, and few at 2,500 feet with a prob 30 of 250, 15 gusting 25. Spot winds to the south and northwesterly 25 knots, and the north, once again, northwesterly 25 to 30 knots. So fairly consistent there. And we can see, looking at windy here, sort of west-northwesterly flow across the airfield around sort of midday there. So we may end up putting the wind chill in the north. We'll just see how strong that wind actually is, if there's much of a crosswind component. Looking at the local Met Office forecast, showing much the same, about 12 knots of wind, gusting 24, 25 in places, but nothing too worrying for us there. GFS temperatures down towards sort of 4 degrees, feeling a bit cooler with that wind there, and a dew point there of 1 degree. We're presently up to 0.5 degrees, actually continually decreasing temperature over the last few hours this morning, and a dew point of minus 1.4. And there's a webcam on the south side looking west. You can see a sort of gentle westerly flow there, no significant cloud, and a relatively clear airfield. The Skysight cross section showing possibility of some of that sort of few clouds at 1,800 feet that we saw on the TAFs there, with a little bit of a gap around lunchtime. But that's yet to be seen. It shouldn't cause us too much issue either way. And nothing of great significance on top Meteo there. So we'll just go straight to NOTAMs. Much like top Meteo, nothing of great significance, particularly with the nature of today's flying. So we'll move on to glider bookings. 3 K21s on booked flying today, and a K13 as well. And the other K13 will be on the casual list. There is single-seater availability across the crops and the discuses, and there were 3 on the casual list on the last point of checking, and we do require an instructor if anyone's around to help. Simulator is available as normal. And movements-wise today, we've got fairly busy. We've got a 727 departing at 10 o'clock on a maintenance check flight, and that will be landing back around 11. A 737 arrival at 12:27, and then the same 727's going out on another maintenance check flight at 1 o'clock, returning at 2:55. So we'll just have to see how that fits in with our plans today. It might be quite disruptive, but we'll do our very best to continue flying via Erito on the north, probably the north side grass, if this gets in our way. So in summary, we've got the dominant low pressure at the moment with clear skies and low temperatures. Okay, expect a westerly flow throughout the day. Therefore, we'll operate runway 27, winter ops, or partial winter ops in terms of launching off the runway, but we should be able to land on the grass. And we're anticipating cables on the south side, but that's dependent on the crosswind, and that'll be up for review. As always, do not land or taxi across the disused runway as shown in red, and there's our provisional airfield set up, the winching off the hard on the south of the centre line and aerotoning from the north. That's all from me today, and we'll see you out there very shortly. It's a good day and keep it safe. Thank you very much.